Yes, the Critic is a character played by McKellen. It is set in the 1930s, between the wars, and his character is he is a theatre critic in a big London newspaper, and he has been in that role for a long time, 30 plus years, and he has seen the owners come and go, but he has stayed, and he has developed a reputation as someone who can make or break a play by his sort of sometimes pithy remarks. He can basically destroy someone's, not their career as such, but he can certainly close a play down. And so he's got this sort of sphere of influence within this sort of critic's world. He has his own table. He has his own. He's treated like with a certain degree of reverence.
Yeah.
He also has a secret life. He also is a man who is homosexual, and he one of his predilections is public
Sorry.
sex environments. And he also has a live-in lover who he calls his secretary. So
Oh,
he is walking the fine line of legality, because at this point, homosexuality is illegal in Britain, and it can end people's careers and destroy their lives still. So
yeah.
he has a secret he is protecting. And whilst he is just doing his job, the previous owner of the newspaper, who had been the owner for many, many years, has died, and his son has inherited his title, the Viscount, and he's also inherited his property and the newspaper. And he is a slightly different character to his father, as in he's a little bit more straight there. And in one of the plays he's reviewed has got an actress, Gemma Atherton, who has been sort of struggling to find her feet on the stage, and she forms this sort of strange sort of relationship with him. She confronts him about some of his critical reviews, and they sort of get involved in this
You want some more chicken? I'll get some more rice and more chicken.
in a tangled relationship, as it were. And some events happen, and it leads to blackmail. And then there are consequences to this blackmail. And the different people involved in it have all got some secrets they need to protect and things that they want to hide. And all of them have their reasons why they don't want these secrets to be revealed. And so the story, I don't want to give any spoilers, but the story then takes, it's like a snowball effect. Like one event then leads to another event, then leads to another, and then some of there are foreseeable for circumstances, but there are also some things that are not foreseen. And so it is a drama within a drama.
Yeah, that was brilliantly put, Sharon. I love it. You're so good at explaining movies without giving away any sort of spoilers. I think it's just, such an admirable thing. I wear my heart on my sleeve, whereas you're much more measured. Yeah. So
yeah. Shaun gives like a synopsis of a film, and he's like, "Well, the ending, the final scene of it's like, the first word Shaun says."
Yeah.
So the funny thing I find out about this is, Quentin Tarantino. He always said he was only ever going to make 10 films, and by his count, he's made 9 films. And he released that he had got his final film ready, and the title of the film was The Critic. That was that was what he was going to make. It was going to be set in Hollywood, run about the Pauline Kael era and everything like that. And then all of a sudden he says, "No, I'm not going to do that anymore for reasons." And then this film comes on. I'm like, this can't be he can't be like, no, another film had the same title, therefore I'm not going to make this film. But that's just the first thing that came to my mind when you guys said you saw the film called The Critic. So Shaun, Sharon has given us the groundwork what this film's about. Give us the emotion. What did you think?
Okay, well, this was total ham up. To me, the acting was just like proper love. He's overacting. I think that was just like a bunch of actors, that so good, real actors. And I mean the situations as well. Just I don't think would have happened. I did speak with Sharon about that, and we're going, I don't think that would have quite gone that way. And to me, this was it was. The acting was awful. I mean, I don't know. When you look at that poster, it says thrilling, exceptional, outstanding. Wasn't at all.
Yeah, no, that's
the
the funny thing about this. The funny thing about this is the fact that, Shaun, you're saying all this while on Zoom, you have a background that has Ian McKellen's face beside saying thrilling. McKellen and Atherton deliver exceptional performances. And Shaun is like rubbish.
and good old Gandalf is the same in everything he does now. He's not. He just.
Sean,
Got some acting ticks, shall we say?
Sure,
yeah,
I have to admit, I do agree with you on that. I do feel like
thanks,
I
Toast,
do feel
thanks.
like Ian McKellen is becoming the same in everything he does.
Everything.
I mean, I don't know, because I mean, maybe it's when you think about the age and you think about the stage that he's gotten to and everything like that. He's probably earned the rights to do that. I mean, I don't know how easy it is for an 80-something-year-old man to be on a film set for God knows how many hours a day, and you probably just fall back on some things. But yeah, it is kind of like when you see Ian McKellen, like the poster for this film makes me feel like I know everything I need to know about Ian McKellen's character in this film.
Yeah. And it was to me, it was like the bit in Lord of the Rings when Gandalf goes into Rohirrim and he's going, "Oh, you let me keep my staff, wouldn't you?" You know, I quite liked him as Gandalf, but
Yeah, it's difficult. I think we also found basically whether the problem was the acting or it was miscasting or whether it was just the story, because we both of us had a bit of chat after the film. There are elements of the story you just don't believe. And if you think, I don't believe that would happen, and I don't believe that character would behave in that way, and I don't believe that would be the consequence of that action. So it didn't join the dots in terms of storytelling, and I found some of the characters thinking, I don't believe that character would do that. Whether that's because they were miscast, because the Viscount was played by Mark Strong, and his character is someone who is quite. He's got a lot going on in his head, hasn't he? He's quite intelligent. He's quite a contained.
He's quite pragmatic, isn't he? He's quite.
And then the character, he's got the actual character. The actor is comes across as being quite competent, and together and in control. And yet there's supposed to be this vulnerability, and I didn't see that vulnerability. So I'm thinking the story fails because you're not selling me that, because that character is not giving me that emotion. Or that aspect of the character. So I think whether he was miscast is that because I think he didn't have that vulnerability.
No, that's it. It was a strange how that.
So I think a lot of the characters they just didn't fit.
It's just like that didn't work. And again, same with the Gemma. It just didn't. I don't think she would have done what she did. But
I don't think she would have either. Not the character we saw.
Exactly at the beginning,
you wouldn't do that. So I'm thinking, is it miscasting? Is it the lack of their acting ability to sell but these are normally really competent, good. They can sell a story, but they're not. They didn't sell this one to me.
I think it was just them having like just hamming it up. Really.
And I'm beginning to feel that Ian McKellen, as we've said, I don't want to hammer it on, sort of really belabor it, but. We said this afterwards. We get the feeling that he thinks he's a national treasure, and we don't.
We don't exactly.
As if he's like, I'm a national treasure. Don't you love me? And you forgive me, and you can accept this because it's me doing it.
It's me
but
doing
we went,
it,
no.
Okay. I'm making all these noises because I have thought this about Ian McKellen for years. For well over a decade, because I went to see him in a production of King Lear, and I think it was not at the National. I think it was at the Donmar Warehouse. So and I remember I went to see him at this production, and obviously he did the whole King Lear thing. There was a bit where it was quite well known because his King Lear at some point essentially is naked from the waist down on stage and all that. And at the end, when it came to the bit of it was part of the madness thing. And at the end, when it came to the curtain call, and he he comes out and it's everybody, and there's a bit where he sort of stands. He comes out after everybody has come out. And he comes out, and he's standing in the middle, and he sort of stands there and he looks at the audience, and he just sort of stands there looking at the audience, and he doesn't acknowledge the audience until people stand up and give him a standing ovation, and then he acknowledges the audience. And I was just sort of sitting down there like. On principle, I am staying sat down. I'm staying sat down because what the heck? So from that point, I've always thought, I have a feeling Ian McKellen has quite a high opinion of himself. And now let's see, I have quite a high opinion of him as well, but it went a little bit lower that night. When you say that you think that, I'm like, oh, it's not just me. I thought it was just me being an idiot. Maybe I'm not the only one who has this point of view. All right, so how many stars would we give the Critic?
2.
2. All right, cool.
Wow.
A rare moment of consensus. Rare moment of consensus on this. All right, cool. So that is 2 stars for the critic.